It is the Riot podcast. Today is the first day of 2 without Nikki this week. Isaiah filling in. Hello, Isaiah.
Exciting time for you all. More Isaiah.
Yes,
is there anything better than that? I don't know. One of my favorite times.
I enjoyed it as well. You sure it doesn't wear you out to do all this talking?
No, I love it.
You do?
I love coming in and being able to talk the whole show, because when I'm in my little side room over there by myself, I get so tired.
Yeah.
So lonely. It's so
There's
lonely.
nothing to stimulate your mind besides the traffic and the news.
It's pretty quiet in there. That's why whenever you guys call me over, it scares me like every time, because I'm just sitting there in dead silence.
You need like a heat. You know what? You need a space heater. Or
I know.
something.
If I had a space heater in there, it'd be game over. I'd be asleep.
But at least you'd have another sound.
Yeah, you're right. Like a little fan in there running.
Or you could just listen to the show.
Oh, well. So, now we're getting crazy.
You have the podcast list today. What did we get into?
We had a man who, when you were telling this story, I thought you were going to say that he like attacked your wife.
Okay.
That's how I thought this story was going to start. But it ended up that he actually attacked one of your yard decorations instead.
Right.
On accident, yes.
There was actually a couple attacks we talked about today.
We did.
But this guy attacked the yard decoration.
We had that one. We also had a wrestler who was attacked by a fan. And pretty much what I've taken away is adults just shouldn't run.
Yeah.
If you're an adult, there's just no reason for you to run, because if you're running something bad, it's either happening or going to happen.
For exercise, you can run.
Yeah,
you can do like run a mile or a marathon or whatnot. But if you're just running
in street clothes,
there's no good reason for it.
No.
It's just going to lead to something going wrong.
Or people thinking something's going wrong.
Yeah.
Like if I see like an adult running, I'm like, what's going on? Like they lose their child?
Yeah.
Like what is going on?
Is there a dog on the loose? So that should we try to get the town together and try to wrangle them? What's going on?
Yeah, we talked about that. We also touched a little bit on some Thanksgiving stuff as we are nearing.
Of course.
Just a couple days away.
I'm so looking forward to Thanksgiving.
We talked about gaining a couple pounds over the course of the holiday season and our thoughts on whether or not we think that it's a lot, a little bit, or
how much
too
is
much.
too much?
Yeah, exactly. Which I think for everyone it's a little bit different, you know?
Yeah.
Like for me.
I mean, some people gaining, the average people expect to gain is 8 pounds, we say. For some people, 8 pounds, that's not that big of a deal. For you or I, 8 pounds would feel like a lot.
It would feel like a ton.
And that's a humble brag that we're pretty thin.
Yes, we are thinner people.
I'm thinner than many. I'm not that thin, but I'm thin enough that 8 pounds wouldn't make or break me.
Yes.
It wouldn't make or break my psyche.
Yes, I wouldn't be like, I would still go out and see. I'd be okay seeing people.
Yeah, I wouldn't lose any sleep over gaining 8 pounds.
Yeah.
Not that I want to.
I definitely don't want to.
No.
I do not want to. But we also, and then we finished the show by touching on some reviews.
We had a good time.
Oh, we had a grand time at the end.
It's weird remembering the reviews that we've had to write and how now it's funny, but in the moment, so heated.
There was a lot of rage in those reviews.
Mine was 100% I was angry when I wrote that tweet because I was tired of really feeling like I was taken advantage of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mine was my Wendy's one. They both were in anger. My Wendy's one was in true rage.
Yeah.
When they forgot my ferocity. It was it was literally the only reason we chose Wendy's over McDonald's.
Do you think those tweets are as mad as you've ever, not tweets, those reviews. Do you think you've ever acted more angry in person with a fast food or anywhere in person than you have in those reviews?
I don't think so, because I don't really get worked up.
Yeah.
Like I'm very level-headed. I'm very patient. So even if you're giving me terrible service,
I'm
not going to be mean to your face.
Right.
I think there was only one time when I've done something more disrespectful than those reviews, even though I don't think those reviews were disrespectful. But,
but they were honest. They seemed pretty honest and fair.
There was one time when I was at Roosters, like getting like wings at a sit-down restaurant, and they had taken so long not to get our food, but to give us the checks. Like a ridiculous. Like we asked for so long for them to give us the checks, and we had taken the checks, whatever. And I was sitting there for too long, and I ended up just leaving.
You didn't
money.
pay?
No, I paid.
Oh,
I just left how much my meal cost on the table because it was enough.
It was the last straw.
I had asked for my check. And they've been so long. Like at this point, it was like midnight, and I'm trying to get the heck out of there.
Yeah.
And I'm with like a group of like 6. We all are getting, we're like standing up.
Yeah.
Wanting to leave. So that was a rage.
That was, but even still, I don't know if the employee probably really took that too personally.
No, they probably like,
they probably didn't even notice.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, great, they left money.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
That's all you need. Well,
but yeah, it was a good show. The reviews at the end made me very happy.
That was a good time. Well, if you have anybody who's left a review, I know you're out there. We'd love to see them because it's actually quite entertaining.
It is very entertaining. So leave us a good, bad, whatever review you want to leave.
Yeah, you can leave a review for this show, and we'll just be happy to see that you're paying attention.
Exactly.
And Isaiah and I will be back for another show tomorrow. And in the meantime, have a great day.
See you guys.
Why pay for so many streaming services that you don't really care about when you can not really care about The Riot for free? RadioU.
Isaiah, I got to tell you, so I've decorated my house for Christmas. The outdoors, not the indoors.
You put up lights and everything?
I put up the lights.
Oh, wow.
I put up the lights. I've got a nice set of illuminated candy canes that line one side of the driveway.
Beautiful.
I've got one of those laser things that I always...
nice.
I like how it looks, but I'm also afraid. You know the projectors that shoot the lasers onto your house? And I'm afraid that that's going to somehow blind me one day.
Go through the window and hit you in the eye or something.
If you look at the box, it says don't make direct eye contact, which I tend to not do with anybody, but particularly lasers. I want to not do that.
And they're moving too, they're moving across your house. So at any point, it could actually make eye contact with you.
Putting myself at a significant risk, putting that laser thing up, but it's all for Christmas. And finally, I have a big inflatable Snoopy, just like from the Peanuts. He's got his dog house. He's got lights on his dog house.
So that's not like a Thanksgiving thing. That's a Christmas thing?
Yeah, no, it's got Christmas lights on it. It says Merry Christmas. It's got some, it looks like it's snowed, and Snoopy's lying on the top of it on his back. Almost, like the way Snoopy looks where you kind of wonder, I know he's a dog, but is he depressed? Like, is he upset? So that just the kind of thing I like. So I've got that all set up, right? Yesterday, my wife goes out to get the mail. And coming sprinting up to her, this fella, she doesn't know who this guy is. He runs into our front yard and he trips. It wasn't inflated, but he trips because it was daytime, but he trips on the Snoopy.
What?
Yeah.
What was he doing? Why was he running in your yard? I don't understand.
He ran up to my wife and he trips and he says, sorry. And he says something about, like, I need to check your meter reading. So he was going around and doing he had the official van and he had a vest and whatever. He was going around doing the electric meter readings. So he sprints up and trips on Snoopy and says he needs to get in the backyard and do the meter reading. So she walked him back there and let him read it. I don't know why he needed to sprint up and do that.
That's my issue. Is like, this is another scenario where I think you need to avoid running almost at all costs.
Yeah,
and so that's another reason why is because if you run, not only will you be tired, will you be upset, but you also could fall down and embarrass yourself.
Yeah, that's right. Once you're an adult, you're not a professional athlete.
No,
there's no reason for you to run unless you're being chased.
I was running probably a week or so ago with my roommate, and I was like, what's weird? Like, I used to run all the time, in high school and college, playing sports and stuff. I was like, now that I don't run as much anymore, I feel like I look weird running. Like, I feel like I've gotten past that point where I'm like, am I running like I used to? Like, I feel like I didn't used to run and look like this.
Yeah.
I feel like I looked a lot better before, and so now I've gotten to the point where running's not only tiring, upsetting, could possibly injure me, but it's also slightly embarrassing to run.
Yeah, and if you're running, you're a grown-up running, and you're not in running attire, as in it's not very clear that you're out jogging. People are going to be concerned. They're going to think something is wrong.
Yeah.
They're going to call the police. So you don't need to do it. Well, this guy, when he tripped on the Snoopy, he broke part of the Snoopy.
No, he didn't.
He broke some of the which I will be able to replace, but he broke some of the stakes that hold up Snoopy. And so now Snoopy is at risk of blowing away.
So
and
did
I've got to remedy this before I go away for Thanksgiving. What if it storms while I'm away and Snoopy blows away?
It's gone now.
I don't know. I don't
you
know who the guy is.
You should have got a couple dollars from him.
Oh, I don't know his name.
Oh, geez.
I don't know. we didn't realize at first that he had broken the Snoopy.
Yeah.
So there's not really, and monetary value probably not that high. But it's the principle. Why are you running? Why'd you need to come into our yard to read the meter? You're doing everybody's house. You're not running up to other people's doors and whatever and accosting them in their yards. So why did you do this to us?
Yes,
why
that makes no sense.
Why me?
Why did it have to be Hudson? And you would think too, if you fell on something and obviously kind of could have broken it, you think you would check to see if you did break it. Yeah. That's what I would do. I would always be like, oh my gosh, did I rip a hole in this? Anything making sure that your thing is okay.
You're so right.
But he did not do that.
He didn't do it. He had one thing on his mind.
The meter
was reading the meter.
Yes.
He was so focused that he would not even, that he didn't even notice the giant red tarp in the yard.
Oh my gosh.
That inflates to become Snoopy. I'm glad he didn't rip it though. If it was actually broken, I would be
thoroughly upset.
Beside myself. Yes. For a Snoopy, an inflatable Snoopy.
Hey,
do you know what? Those things aren't cheap.
No, not at all. I would be upset too.
Welcome to The Riot, where you listen to us and that's it. It's pretty much a one-way street. The Riot. RadioU.
I've got bad news for you, Isaiah.
Okay.
The Miss America pageant, it is not going to be on TV this year.
No.
It is. Well, I mean, and it's already a hard time for us pageant heads because last year, of course, we all remember the Miss America pageant was called off because of the coronavirus pandemic.
I mean, of course. So yes, I remember that vividly.
We already had to go a year without Miss America. But this year, it will not be on TV. However, I have good news.
Okay.
You will still be able to watch. It's just not going to be on traditional TV. You're only going to be able to find the Miss America pageant on Peacock.
I'm not getting Peacock. I'm not doing it.
Come on. You got to support the Miss Americans.
I didn't even know that Miss America was on TV before. So, yet again, if it comes back this year and isn't on TV, it's on Peacock, I won't watch it on Peacock.
Starting to sound to me like you don't support women.
It's not that I don't support women. I just have never watched Miss America.
Because you don't feel like you want to support them.
It's not that I don't want to support them. I mean, it's like have all women watched the NFL? Maybe not. Maybe they haven't. I don't know for sure.
So what is that? How women support men?
It could possibly be
NFL.
It could possibly be.
I think. Listen, there's no better way to support women than by giving them a tiara and a sash on TV. And so that's what we need to do with the Miss America pageant. And we all need to turn it on and go to Peacock and support these ladies as they do lady things.
As they what do they do? They juggle and do all their stuff.
Wear dresses and
they perform.
Do they?
Yes, they do. They all have I assume I have never watched the Miss Americas, but from what I do think that I kind of know, I think they have some sort of skill. Everyone has a skill that they have to do. So it's from juggling to singing or dancing. Everybody has something that they have to do, right?
You could be right about that.
I'm pretty sure that's how.
I don't know if that's real or if that's just what it's like we've seen on the Simpsons
movies,
and stuff.
In the movies, yeah.
Is that a real?
That could be.
I don't know anything about it. I guess at some point. And the other thing is, I don't know the difference between Miss America, Miss Universe, Miss World, Miss.
Oh, okay. Let me explain to you. So Miss America is only America.
Okay.
And then Miss World is the whole
world.
The whole
is that
world.
A thing? Miss World
or Miss Universe, whatever it is. All I know is Miss America.
Miss Universe.
America.
Miss Universe should include people from women from all different. Not just countries,
like astronauts.
Yeah, and aliens
too.
Aliens, right?
Well, we can't really categorize that.
Why not?
Because if it's, I don't know exactly what the stipulations are for being allowed to play in the Miss America and Miss World or whatever. But I'd have to think they'd have to have a different category because it'd be hard to judge.
I think it's pretty presumptuous of us to think that the Miss Universe always should be a woman from the not from the United States, but a woman from the planet or Earth. When there's so many other planets and places out there,
maybe
we
they
don't
have
know.
their
If
own.
You're calling it universe,
they have their own.
You've got to represent the entire universe.
But
fair?
Isn't this our universe? We
own it. We haven't claimed all of the universe yet.
We have so far
as humans.
We have.
No, I guess nobody stood in our way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, right now, who would own it? I mean, it would be us. Because we're the only ones we're the only option so far.
Human women are the dominant women because they're, again, in the universe, because there hasn't been any other women standing up to say, no, you can't. So I guess you're right.
It's like if you have a multiple choice question, but there's only one answer. So
yeah,
if I don't have another option, it can't be wrong.
If there is going to be a different Miss Universe one day, you got to show yourself.
Yes.
Another species, another planet that wants to throw their hat into the ring, you're going to have to show yourself.
You're going to have to show yourself off. But yes, I will not be watching this on Peacock, but I do support it.
Worst of the Riot podcast.
A wrestler, his name is Seth Rollins, at least that's his stage name. Did you know it's not his real name?
Of course, none of them are their real names.
But it sounds like a real name.
His name does probably sound pretty normal.
But it's actually, his name is Colby Lopez.
Colby Lopez.
Doesn't sound as cool.
No, Seth Rollins sounds way
Seth
cooler.
Rollins, right?
Yeah.
So Seth Rollins coming back, just finished a match, it looks like. He's walking off the stage, walking out of the ring and everything. And on his way back, he just gets blindsided by what appears to be a fan, and it's wrestling, right? So you never know.
No,
Somebody
you
just
never
comes
know.
running
That's
out.
what
You
I
don't
was
know
gonna
if it's
say.
all a part of the show, or if it's actually real. And in this case, it actually is real. Some fan jumped a barrier, got to a full sprint, and actually gets Seth Rollins, the professional wrestler, down to the ground. Because, I mean, he just takes him out.
He was coming from that. That was an impressive part, was that he was able to get him to the ground. But I mean, it was a good form tackle for sure.
Oh yeah.
And he had a full sprint coming into it.
He kept his head down.
He
led
was
with
committed.
his shoulder.
Yeah, I mean that for anyone, and the guy wasn't a small guy either. Like, he was a pretty big guy.
Yeah.
So if you were coming like me like that, you would also take me to the ground.
That's right. Not even Seth Rollins, not even Isaia could withstand a tackle in that kind of form. This guy, he knew what he was doing. Fortunately, because once you know that it's actually real, it's just a random fan. It's kind of scary. Like, what is this guy trying to accomplish here? Does he have a weapon or whatever? Fortunately, it looks like Seth Rollins is okay. Colby Lopez. And the guy who attacked him, he's going to face some charges, of course, but he didn't wind up doing any real damage. And it's just a crazy video because, again, the guy, great form of the tackling. And then what's interesting is, so Seth Rollins is trying to wriggle himself free, kind of push the guy off. And then the referee, of all people, comes in. And then if you are just watching, you're like, wait, is this a part of the show?
Is this a part of it?
Because the referee comes in and throws a shoulder to the back of the head and helps. And then the security comes in and helps pull the guy off as his pants are falling down. But I'm impressed most of all with the referee in this scenario, because he gave this guy a dealt a crushing blow.
He went right into action too. He wasn't messing around. It was he got tackled, and then all of a sudden there was 3 refs right there jumping on top.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess in wrestling, maybe you should know that the referee is actually in decent shape and can hold his own out there, because sometimes they wind up getting in on the action in one way or another, have to pull the wrestlers off or whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't realize that how actually fit those referees are. At least this one, he knew what he was doing out there.
And when they do, they have 5 guys that jump on top of him, of course. And then as they're taking him out, they were really struggling to contain this man. This guy he put up a pretty good effort. He put up a pretty good fight, 1v5, and obviously he had the initial blow to Seth, which was very impressive as well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you don't want just random fans attacking people, but that said, this guy,
if you're gonna do it,
did pull off the attack.
It was very impressive.
It was
the way
surprising.
he did it.
And actually, you know what? One more credit to the referee, because again, the referee knows, he should know that this is not staged, that this is a real fan, and so he doesn't even hesitate. He doesn't know if the guy has a weapon. So the referee's not he's not security. He's just a referee. He's just a part of the show. But he jumps in and winds up helping out here. So I give full credit to the referee. I don't know his name, but he did a good job there.
Yeah, and you wonder what was this guy trying to accomplish is always my question. It's the same thing as the people who run on the field during the game, during the Super Bowl or during a soccer game. If you run out on the field, what are you trying to accomplish? You know you're going to get arrested and some charges pressed against you.
Was it all worth it?
Yeah, it's never worth it.
We are up here giving him a bunch of credit for how good his tackling is. So
you're right.
Maybe he's trying to get a job in the USFL or something.
Maybe he's trying to get a little bit of clout. Trying to get some attention to his name.
More likely, he's just a crazed maniac.
The Riot Podcast.
RadioU.
Thanksgiving is coming up. We all know this, right? And I've got some statistics that Isaiah, I guess I'm saying I got the statistics. Isaiah, you found them.
I did.
You found the Thanksgiving stats that we so desire. And what was the one that stuck out to you most of all?
See, the one that stuck out to me the most was 73% of U.S. adults agree that a fridge full of leftovers is the best thing about hosting Thanksgiving.
I think I'm on board with that.
You're with that?
Now, this is saying the best thing about hosting, right?
Yes, the best thing about hosting. Not just Thanksgiving in general, but just hosting Thanksgiving.
That is the benefit of, some people, many will send leftovers home with you if they are the hosts. But, if you are the guest, those leftovers, that's only going to be a little bit, right?
Yeah, you're not going to get the whole turkey now.
But then if you're hosting, you can still send some leftovers home with people, and hopefully you still prepared enough that you're going to have leftovers for yourself, and that's that's going to get you through several days.
Yeah.
And it's a fine feeling knowing that you don't have to, buy groceries as much, and that you got a turkey and some potatoes and stuffing and gravy waiting for you several days down the line.
Yeah, I think the Thanksgiving leftovers are fantastic and very good. I don't know if it's the best thing about hosting Thanksgiving.
Have you ever hosted?
I've never hosted.
So how would you know?
Because if I hosted Thanksgiving, I think the best thing would be probably seeing my family, being able to put,
you can do that anytime.
being able to put food on the table for everybody, and then being able to have them enjoy it.
What are you, a Hallmark card?
No. I just think that, there's more.
What do you love, donating to charity too?
There's more to Christmas than just the presents here, Hudson.
But the best part is the presents.
No, come on.
It is.
The best part of so I agree. The best part of Christmas is the presents, but that's not what you're supposed to say. You're not supposed to say it's the presents. You're supposed to say it's the time to get with family and be able to enjoy the Christmas spirit. Right?
This is a survey where we can be honest. We don't have to look people in the eye and tell them a lie that being with you is the best part of my Thanksgiving. We don't have to tell them that in this survey. You're just talking to. It's probably just an online survey thing where you click the answer. You can be more honest with them than anybody else because your answers are just grouped in with the group. So you wouldn't want to sully their data.
Of course not. You can't do that.
So
you have to give your honest answer.
Don't lie and say that putting a meal on the table for your family and friends is the most important and most rewarding part of hosting Thanksgiving. The best part is you get all the leftovers.
See, the other thing that I took away from this is it also has America's favorite Thanksgiving dishes. And, of course, turkey's at number one.
That's just wrong.
Yeah, what?
Turkey is necessary for Thanksgiving, but it's not the best part.
Well, yeah,
even if you deep fry it, there's other better things.
I agree there's better things, but everybody in the survey is going to pick turkey as their number one, of course.
But see, that's where they're just going along and not being truly honest.
Number 2 is mashed potatoes.
Good choice.
Number 3 is stuffing or dressing.
Okay.
And then number 4. Now this I got kind of a little bit of crap for this, but number 4, bread or rolls.
What?
Sits at the number 4 spot. So there's a lot of people that agree with me. Number 5, sweet potatoes or yams, and number 6 is cranberry sauce.
Sweet potato, bread or rolls. It's your favorite part?
That's my favorite part, yes.
That is...
sitting at the number 4 spot here, as it was a lot of other people's favorite parts, too.
But what is special about the bread or rolls? In your situation, do you get special bread that you don't get the rest of the year?
No, it might even just be Hawaiian rolls. Like, it might just be a Hawaiian roll, which is fantastic.
They're very good.
But I can have them anytime. I have them at my house right now, actually.
You do?
Yes. I love Hawaiian rolls.
So what is that? How does that make it the best part of Thanksgiving?
It's just like that little extra, It's next to the mashed potatoes. Like I could even use the bread with the mashed potatoes and gravy, and that'll be really good.
Yeah.
But there's just something about the bread. The bread is my favorite food anyway.
Yeah.
And so on Thanksgiving, it's that much better.
I will tell you that there's something special just about when you've cleaned your plate and you grab one of the rolls and, you use it. Like your food is gone, but you use it to just soak up everything.
Yes.
You use the bread as a sponge, an edible sponge to pick up all of the scraps that's been left on your plate. There's something special about that. Honestly, you can reduce Thanksgiving down to one thing or two things combined into one for me. You give me bread and gravy, and everything else is just a bonus. But you just give me a plate full of bread and dump gravy on it, And that's going to make me happy.
So it's perfect. So my number one is the rolls and the bread, and your number one and number two is the bread.
My number one is gravy.
And then number two, it sounds like might be the bread.
As long as there's gravy.
Well, yes, of course, but yet again, we circle back to number two being the bread.
I guess, it's hard to go against bread.
And to make everybody feel bad before we go, the average number of calories consumed is between 3,000 and 4,500.
Is that
Which
bad?
is unreal.
Yeah! You were one of the lucky few who missed the riot when they were live. Yet here you are.
I also like to live dangerously.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Isaiah, what do you make of this? We have a man, he's from France. His name is Anthony Lafredo, and he's 33 years old. He's dedicated his life to becoming a black alien.
Okay.
As in, like, he wants to look like a
an
black
alien?
You look at his face, he's getting there.
Is he making progress?
He's made a lot of progress, but the last step, the most recent step that he took is quite controversial. It is, he wanted to have his hands look more like alien claws. And so he has had 2 of his fingers removed.
I just saw the photo.
Yeah. Horrible,
Oh, my
right?
gosh. He literally got them chopped off.
They have been taken off. And what's crazy about it is he did it, at least what's crazy to me, is it was an actual operation. Like, he did not just chop. He's like, fine, I want to look like an alien. Fine. I'm out of my mind. I'm going to chop off 2 of my fingers. He traveled to Mexico because I guess, fortunately for the doctoring community around the world, I think most countries would not chop off 2 of your fingers unless it was completely necessary. Most countries do not want to do that. But in Mexico, he found a doctor that would. And so he's had an actual surgical operation.
For no reason.
Unless you consider wanting to look like his idea of an alien. If you consider that a reason, viable reason.
He's completely committed to, like, I'm looking at the picture of his face.
Oh, yeah.
Which obviously
there's no going back.
No.
Well, once you take off 2 of your fingers, too, there's no going back.
He is completely committed. And now my question is, like, how old did it say he was? Say he was 35?
He's 33.
33 years old. So he has so much life left to live with 3 fingers now.
Yeah.
Like 60 years more with 3 fingers. At some point, don't you think he's going to be like, okay, this is getting kind of silly. I'm like 75 years old. Why do I only have 3 fingers? Right? Or maybe he's going to stay committed to it forever. But like at the same time, you chopped off 2 of your fingers for no reason.
Has anybody ever, I don't have any tattoos, but there's people out there, you get a tattoo that most people can't even see.
Yeah.
You get it when you're 18, and then when you're 35, you're like, well, this was, I kind of wish I hadn't done it. I'm not going to get it removed because it's too expensive or painful or whatever, but I wish I didn't get this tattoo. And like 20
let alone chopping off your fingers.
Chopping off your fingers.
Ugh. Oh, why?
I'm trying to justify, like, think of how you could justify this.
There's no justifying this. This is what is called good old stupidity. So I'm going to put this down.
Well, do you think it's stupidity, or do you think the medical community in his native France, maybe it hasn't failed him in regards to chopping off his fingers because they refused to do it, I assume, but maybe they failed him by not getting him the mental health?
Yes.
Like, don't you think
he thinks he's an alien?
Yeah. Or he's so committed to being alien that he's literally dismembering himself
to be an alien.
To be an alien.
And if you guys saw the photo, like, I'm looking at this photo now.
Just nobody look it up because it's horrible.
It looks awful, and I just don't know how you could like what's his job? Do you have a job?
How are you paying for this?
Yes, exactly. Because at some point you have to go to work, and when you go to work and you're like, oh yeah, I chopped off my fingers so I can look more like an alien.
His job probably is being an alien.
Number one,
he's probably in a circus or some other kind of, like Ripley's
some sort
Believe
of
It or Not
entertainment thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if you're some sort of like entertainer, because if you were my coworker and you came in and said like, oh yeah, I'm trying to be an alien.
Yeah.
I would be like, my coworker's a weirdo. That's what I would say to my friends. I would say my coworker chopped off 2 of his fingers
He needs
to have
help.
a claw.
He needs help.
I would not want to
get
work.
this man some counseling and some extra fingers because this is not helpful. The other funny thing about him is, so you see he wants to be an alien and everything. He's tattooed his face. He's got like all facial modifications, chopped off 2 of his fingers. But you look at him in one of the videos he posted, he's just wearing a regular shirt.
No, he's not.
You think that's what an alien would wear? Just a plaid button-up?
If you're going to commit.
Yeah.
It's
an alien attire.
You can't wear Vans out,
No.
You can't be coming out here in khakis.
You got to get some kind of jumpsuit or something.
Yes.
What an alien would wear.
They would not
He's
wear
only
this.
committed so far.
He's wearing a collared shirt.
Yeah. You're right.
If you're looking for hot takes on the day's most important news stories, you're in the wrong place. You're listening to The Riot on RadioU.
If I was to ask you, Isaiah, how much weight you expect to gain over the holiday season,
Ooh.
can you give me an honest answer?
Hopefully none. It's what I'm hoping. I think my weight flexes so much, like between like a 5 to 6 pound range, that I don't think I'll even notice. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think on Saturday I'll roll around and I'll feel normal.
Yeah.
I think Thursday I'm going to feel super bloated.
Well,
Coming on Friday I'll be feeling real full and kind of like a little bigger. By the time Saturday rolls around I'll just be back to my normal range.
Well, what if I'm telling you not just, what if we're talking not just Thanksgiving, we're talking the next month, like Thanksgiving through New Year's. You think you're going to gain some weight? Or
I think I'll gain like 5 pounds, I hope.
You think?
I'd hope so.
Of muscle?
I hope I have 5 pounds of
Yeah.
precisely. Precisely.
I have a survey here. It is the right off the end of the year survey. Writing off the end of the year survey. They do this every year. And they ask 2,000 Americans all about basically what they're eating and stuff like that at the end of the year, how much weight they expect to gain. So this year, the average American expects to gain about 8 pounds over the course of the holiday season from Thanksgiving through New Year's.
8 pounds?
Does that feel like a lot?
That feels like a lot.
Yeah.
I think gaining 8 pounds through what was the range?
Well, like through the holidays,
So
through
Thanksgiving?
December, into the new year before you start your New Year's resolution.
Yeah, 8 pounds in a month. That'd be pretty impressive.
If you could keep it that low or that high,
I
is
think
that low or high to you?
I think that's high. I think 8 pounds in 1 month that's a pretty big swing.
I think I'm not sure about this because I'm not old enough, but I think once you get older, I think you have a lot more capacity to quickly gain weight. That is not the good kind of weight.
Exactly, it's the bad kind of weight.
You just start eating a little more than normal, and all of a sudden your weight can shoot up several pounds.
Yeah, that's 8 pounds. That's almost 10 pounds. That's a lot.
That is right.
That's a lot.
It's pretty close. It's only about 2 pounds away.
Yeah, that's once you hit that 10 pound mark.
Yeah, if you're hitting a double digit gain.
Yeah, in 1 month. Literally 1 month. That's a lot.
Yeah, and since they've been doing this for years, that's actually gone up compared to recent years where people were saying 6 or 7 in the last several years. So people are expecting, maybe we're just being more realistic now. We know the holidays are going to take a toll on us. It says, I like this though, 90% of people plan on enjoying the holiday season and the food it has to offer without maintaining a healthy diet. So they're just in.
They've just committed.
The next month, as far as diet goes, doesn't count. So no wonder you're going to gain 8 pounds.
Yeah, if you just give up on it, essentially. If you just say like, oh yeah, who cares anymore?
You're just giving in.
Then you're not going to be in a good place.
It is tough, and you'll see this, Isaiah, as we go through the next month. There's going to be a lot of extra cookies.
Oh, yeah.
That wind up in the break room.
Yeah, I know.
The gift boxes. There's going to be a tin of popcorn, I'm sure, with the different sections of the popcorn. There's just always a little extra temptation. Now, for us, maybe we're kind of used to it because we always have Little Debbie's or something in the break room.
Yeah, there's oatmeal cream pies in there that have been tempting me now for a week. And every day, I'm not joking, for the past like 3 days probably here at work, I've looked at it, I've picked it up, I've almost eaten it, that I've been like, you don't need it.
No, huh?
And I put it back down. That's why it's still sitting in there.
That's why you're not gaining 8 pounds this holidays.
I do it every single day. I pick it up and I'm like, I want it. And I'm like, you don't need it.
But it does become tougher when it's new stuff, though. Because those oatmeal cream pies are always there.
They've been in there forever.
When it's something
I'm used to
new,
it
makes it feel like it's special.
Yes,
and
you're
then
right.
it's like, well, I want to get, for us in the break room, I want to get it before it's gone. I don't want to come back tomorrow and have missed out on whatever these cookies cookies are.
Exactly.
So it is extra. And just homemade cookies, man.
You have to try them. You have to try them just to see how good they really are.
I think for me, I'm not too concerned about gaining 8 pounds over the holidays. This is probably my folly, but I feel that I've gained, like I've hit most of my peak weight. This is the weight I am now is about as bad as it can get for me.
So so you're just relying on that. You're like, well, it
There's
can't
no-
get any.
I
There's
can't
no
go
way
up.
it can go worse, right?
I cannot. I would have to do something wild to go up from the weight I'm at right now, which doesn't say. I mean, I guess in a way that's good because my weight is not like there's other people out there that would die to be at my weight.
Yeah.
But my weight isn't good for me. And
well, everybody has a premier weight for themselves. Like if I was at a weight that I didn't like, the weight I'm at right now, I'm pretty comfortable with. But if I was at a weight that I wouldn't like, there are definitely people that would be like, oh yeah, I would like to be at that weight. Same with you as well. So everybody has a premier weight, the weight they actually are, and the weight they're trying not to be.
And there's just a graph, a range of what your weight can be, and I'm at the high end of my range.
Yeah.
Before
you're like, this isn't where I want to be.
I'm not. Oh, I'm way above where I want to be. I'm not doing that much to change it.
There you go.
But I'm partially comfortable just thinking, you know what? I don't think I can get much heavier.
2 is better than 1. Unless we're talking about The Riot. The Riot, Radio U.
This grandmother in Georgia, her name is Susan. She's 63 years old.
Sounds about right.
She was staying at a hotel, the Baymont Inn and Suites in Helen, Georgia. Apparently that's a resort town. I've never heard of it. I'm sure it's nice. So she was staying at this hotel, a 3-night stay back in September, her and her granddaughter, 6-year-old granddaughter. And she got a call during her stay at the hotel one night, 8:40 p.m., It was the hotel manager. He said he had called the police and he wanted her to leave the room.
Oh.
The grandmother is very confused, right? The man screaming. He says, "You get out now. I call the police." That's her quote. Her granddaughter is crying. I don't know if I believe that part. Why did she have it on speaker?
This was so scary.
Yeah. But nevertheless, this grandmother says she did get kicked out of this Baymont Inn and Suites. You want to know why?
Why?
Allegedly. Because she booked the hotel on Hotels.com. And you know how if you book online, a lot of times they will send you an email that's like, let other travelers know how your hotels
have
the stay
of course.
was and whatever. So they sent this to her while she was still there, which is surprising. I feel that usually they wait till like a week after your trip.
To get your full experience,
but
you know?
They sent her this email. And so she just kind of, in the email, it'll even... I've seen this before. It gives you like the stars.
Yeah.
And it's like, how was your stay and whatnot. She gave it 3 stars.
Ooh, average rating. Not terrible rating, but not a good one either.
And then left a review saying, quote, "Rundown, pool's not open, toilet doesn't flush well." That sounds like worse than 3 stars.
That sounds like a 1 star. She was being generous with the 3.
That's a 2 at the very most.
Yeah.
If you can't even get the toilet to flush.
Yeah, that's a 1 star. That should be a 1 star review. She was being very generous, giving it 3 stars.
And so I guess maybe you wouldn't be so sad to get out of a place like that. However, you don't want to be kicked out of the hotel. But that's exactly what the hotel manager did. Because she gave a bad review, she wound up getting kicked out of the hotel.
Wow, that's ridiculous. If I was her, I would change my rating from a 3 to a 1. If you're gonna kick me out, I'm giving you a 1. Like I'm not sticking with the 3. That's not because a 3 star isn't even a bad rating. A 3 star is average.
Yeah.
5 is great. 4 is good. 3 is average. 2 is bad. No, 2 is bad and 1 is horrible. I would say. I would say that if you have it below a 3, then that's like a horrible stay. If it's at a 3, that's like almost not like would do again, but if I had to, I would do it again.
Yeah. 3 it's serviceable, right?
Yeah. I would say it's the average score.
This guy, I wonder what the rest of the reviews for the hotel say. You think he's got a really high score because he kicks everybody out?
Maybe he has like a 4.9 or something, and she ruined it by giving the 3.
Maybe. Or maybe he's got a 4.9 because he intimidates people into giving good reviews,
scores.
Right?
Are you a reviewer? Like, have you ever left a review?
I guess maybe sometimes. I don't think I've done the reviews for hotels where other people can see it really. I'll give them like the stars, but I won't write a review. I've reviewed about 3 things in my life online.
Yeah.
On Google, and that is when it's usually really bad.
Really bad?
Yeah.
Oh, so you're a bad
reviewer. I know
reviewer.
I've reviewed Pizza Hut poorly once. I've reviewed a particular Pizza Hut and one particular Taco Bell and maybe like one other place.
I want to read these reviews because I have left reviews on like Yelp. I'll leave reviews.
You're a Yelper?
I've done a bad review. I think I've done a couple good reviews.
Yeah. Were the good reviews just out of the goodness of your heart?
Just out of the sweetness of my heart.
You wanted to give them the credit they deserve.
They did a fantastic
giving
job.
you a fine experience.
Yes, but there's nothing better than if you really want to get to know someone, you read a review they left on Yelp because that'll tell you all how they're feeling when they're good and how they're feeling when they're bad, and just kind of the true scale of the farthest parts of people. Because either you're really happy and this is how you're gonna act, or when you're really mad, how low will you get?
Yeah,
like how
people
bad
go crazy.
Will you make this Wendy's sound?
But that's
I made it sound pretty bad.
That's your one outlet, right? Because I don't want to be mean to the employees to their faces.
Exactly.
But I will leave a bad review for them after the fact.
Oh, they'll know I was upset.
I've only done, only like probably 3 times in my life have I left a bad review, but it's only in those worst circumstances where you got to let it out, man.
They will rue the day forever they forgot to give me the
They're going to learn the lesson. Although in my experience, when I previously worked in food I worked at Panera, and it would be like once a month, maybe at most, the district manager or something would send us the new reviews.
Oh.
And we usually would just laugh at them because we knew most of the time we knew the stuff wasn't true or it was clearly explained. Like we probably were doing the right thing anyways, which I don't know. Is that a bad attitude to have? Is the customer always right? Sometimes the customer is wrong.
And I'm telling you, the only place that it really matters is like for a hotel or something, you actually read the reviews.
Yeah.
You're not reading the Wendy's reviews. If you see a Wendy's when you drive on the highway, you're just like, well, let's check and see the reviews on this Wendy's. You just go, oh, this is convenient. I'm pulling off. I'm going to go anyway.
It's just our little way of having an outlet.
It was just my punch to the kidney for them when they forgot to give me the sauces that I asked for.
That's
so they knew I was upset.
That's what you gave them the bad review?
I think it was about a Frosty or something. I was supposed to get a free Frosty, and I didn't get it.
A free Frosty?
I got to read it to you, man. It's so
Can you look it up?
Good. Yes, I can. Of course I can find it.
I want to hear your review of Wendy's.
This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
Leave us a beautiful review.
A few people have reviewed on the Facebook page RadioU. I think we have a pretty good rating.
Oh, do we have a pretty good one?
I think we do. And on our podcast, the Worst of the Riot podcast, we got pretty good reviews too. So if you ever want to review us, you can do that. But I'm particularly excited. You can give us a negative one. I don't care. It all drives us up in the metrics probably.
Exactly.
Somehow. At least it shows you're paying attention. But I'm particularly excited. Isaia and I were just talking about a woman, a grandmother and her 6-year-old granddaughter. They got kicked out of a hotel in Georgia because while they were staying there, the hotels.com sent the grandmother an email to review the hotel. She gave it 3 stars and the hotel manager saw it and kicked her out. And so Isaia and I were talking about the handful of times that between the two of us we have reviewed somewhere online. And before we get to Isaiah's, I'll tell you mine real quick. I had Pizza Hut recently where the only reason I reviewed them is similar to the instance with this woman. They sent me an email because I had ordered online and they asked me. I wouldn't have reviewed.
Oh, so they asked for it. They asked for it.
Yes. And so I gave them a review, and then after I left the review, they said that like the Pizza Hut responded to my review on Google and said, message us and let us know how we can make this right. And I didn't message them because you don't have to give me a gift card or anything.
No.
Just make sure your Pizza Huts are staffed and not burning the pizzas.
Exactly.
That's all I want. I know it's not so easy in this time, but hey, you're a big corporation with lots of money. You can figure it out. Isaia, what are your reviews? So
I'll read it aloud. I'm telling you, I'm going to read it exactly as I wrote it. I'm not stretching it. This is exactly how I wrote it. So I gave Wendy's a 2-star review.
How long ago was this?
This was 1 year ago.
1 year ago.
So I wrote this. Picture this, ... 2 p.m. on a Sunday, my brother and I decide we need lunch. We are deciding between McDonald's and Wendy's. We end up leaning this very Wendy's because of the free Junior Frosty deal.
Ooh, I'm picturing it. ...
We were feeling Frosties. We order our food and they hand us our bag and I ask if everything was in there, including the Frosty. They say yes, have a good rest of your day. My brother and I are on our merry way home.
They put the Frosty in the bag, they say?
They say they did. My brother and I are on our merry way home when we reach in the bag to no Junior Frosties, and if that wasn't bad enough, they didn't give us the ranch we ordered. Needless to say, we won't be returning.
Oh, have you returned?
Have not returned.
Wow.
Stood by my word.
Man of principles right there.
It was in the middle of nowhere. I haven't even probably driven through the town since, but... yeah, we did not get our Junior Frosties. And the other bad review I left was for Arby's, also 2 stars. This was over 2 years ago.
Okay, it was a while ago. They've had a chance to fix things.
Yes. This said, good food, bad service. A character by the name of David, who took our order, seemed like he woke up on the wrong side of bed and wasn't hiding it. Our food came decently quick, but there were no lids for our drinks. After we told them they were out, they yelled for David to get more. This man is wandering as if he had never worked a day in his life, and I got his lids a while after we already had our food. He also messed up multiple of our orders. If David is taking your order, you should leave right then.
Uh-oh. Watch out for David.
So David got completely annihilated.
David, you better change your ways.
Let me tell you, he was not ready to work. I literally still remember, this was over 2 years ago, and I remember exactly what it looked like in there because it was such a traumatic experience for me.
Have you been back to that?
Never
Arby's?
returned.
Never returned?
Never returned.
You
also
got to see
in the
if
middle
David
of nowhere.
is still there.
No chance. There's no way.
You don't think he made the cut?
They yelled for his name for like 5 minutes straight. They were like, David, refill. If you're only in charge of refilling the lids at Arby's, then they aren't giving you much responsibility already. Right. So if you can't refill the lids, like I don't know if he can stay.
There might have been a few, like David has probably fell down a few rungs of the ladder at Arby's.
Oh, I'm thinking
leading up to that.
When you're in charge of lids and somehow they're out, how many times have you went to Arby's or any fast food restaurant and there just been no lids?
It's fairly rare. Was it busy?
What? No, it was
like
busy. Just us.
So that's exactly what you do when there's downtime is you refill the lids.
Exactly.
Everybody knows that.
He was
David.
not on top of it.
I have one other review. I'll read it quick from Taco Bell. I said, this is 1 star.
You animal. You animal. Hudson, a 1 star.
I remember writing this while I was sitting there waiting for my food. So, the backstory is, well, let me read the review first and then I'll give the backstory. Actually, you know what? Let's take 1 second and let everybody compose themselves and we'll come back and I will read my 1 star review of Taco Bell.
Everything you love about the Riot, plus a handy-dandy fast-forward option. This is the Worst of the Riot podcast.
We've only left in our lifetimes like 6 reviews total between the 2 of us.
Yes.
But reading what led us to leave these reviews is pretty fun. So I've got one here. I remember this very night. It is, or at least I remember the scenario. This is a Taco Bell. This is the other review I've left. 1 star. What a trash Taco Bell. Honestly,
my gosh.
10 times worse than a standard TB. On any normal day, you're waiting upwards of 20 minutes in the drive-thru, but it takes them. But I lost my place. 20 minutes of drive. It takes them 5+ minutes from when you order to make your order, which is about as horrible as fast food can be. I've worked in fast food. I know it should be faster than 5 minutes. I remember at the Taco Bell you can see the clock that counts up for the person, and mine was over 5 minutes. That's how I know.
Oh, geez.
So I said, tonight, I thought I could skip the line by ordering online and picking up indoors. Nope. They locked the doors to the inside shortly after 8 when it's not supposed to be closed until 10. Do not want your time here. It's supposed to be waste. But I remember writing this on my phone because I was sitting in the super long drive-thru line.
That's how you know you're upset, is when you write it as you're there. Like, food hasn't even came yet.
I was in the heat of the moment, and I remember because this is when before I came to the morning show here, I was working until 8 every night, 8 p.m.
Oh, yeah.
So there was select places that were open, but like Taco Bell, you wouldn't expect it to be busy, right?
No.
This Taco Bell we usually avoided because even at 8 o'clock, you'd still have a super long drive-through line. But I thought I could outsmart this Taco Bell. I thought, I'm not going to wait in line like the rest of these schmoes. I'm going to order online, and then I'll just walk on in. It'll be already ready for me. Nope. They had locked the doors.
Oh,
this
my
is
gosh.
right after 8 o'clock.
And you have to go through the drive-thru anyway.
I think there was probably like one person working, And so I let that Taco Bell had it because this wasn't the first experience that I had with these guys.
This is pent up. This is over the course of a long time. You were upset and it kind of flared out. You gave a 1 star.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I don't even know if I could.
You don't think you have that in you?
It would have to be something just absolutely ridiculous.
You just heard the worst of the worst. We'd give you the best of the best, but we'd have to find that. As soon as we do, you'll be the first to know.